Most Western men who ask this question are asking the wrong question. They want to know how to get her to say yes without one. But the real question, the one that will actually help you, is why she feels the way she does. Because her resistance is not random. It is not naivety. It is not manipulation, most of the time. It is a window directly into how she sees herself, how she sees you, and what she believes love is supposed to feel like. I am Ruby. I am Ty. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly what is behind her resistance. Not as a problem to solve, but as information she is giving you whether she realizes it or not. Before we continue, please subscribe to my channel so you do not miss any future videos. The first reason Thai women resist condoms is not about condoms at all. It is about what a condom communicates. When a Thai woman who genuinely likes you feels the moment coming and then you reach for protection, something happens in her mind that she will never say out loud. She does not feel safe. She feels assessed. You are, in that moment, behaving like someone who is not certain about her, who has not decided, who is keeping options open. The Western man hears this and thinks, that is irrational. Condoms protect both of us. What does certainty have to do with it? Everything. That gap between how you see the act and how she sees the act is where most of the friction lives in Thai Western intimacy, and it starts here. In Thai culture, physical intimacy is not separated from emotional commitment the way it often is in the West. American dating culture, especially now, can involve physical intimacy fairly early in something that is still technically casual. The physical act and the relationship status are two separate tracks that do not necessarily synchronize. In Thailand, and especially among women who are not in the bar scene or tourist economy, those tracks are expected to be the same track. By the time she is in a position where this is happening, in her mind, something has already been decided. You are already someone. The condom signals that in your mind, nothing has been decided yet. She will not tell you this. This is Kreng Jai, the deeply Thai impulse to absorb discomfort rather than create friction. She will not say, you using a condom makes me feel like a stranger to you. She will just feel it, say nothing, and you will notice something shifted afterward and not know why. Picture this. You have been seeing a woman from Chiang Mai for 3 weeks. She has cooked for you twice. She has introduced you to her friend. You are at her apartment. The moment arrives. You reach for your wallet. You see her face change. Not dramatically, just a micro expression, a half second of something closing. She says nothing. The night continues. But the next morning, she is quieter, and you tell yourself she is just tired. She is not tired. She is recalibrating what she thought you were. Pay attention to her face in that moment. It is telling you something her words will not. If you protect yourself without context, you are sending a message you did not mean to send. She is not asking you to be reckless. She is asking you to acknowledge what she already believes this is. The second reason is connected to identity, specifically, how a Thai woman categorizes herself. Among Thai women, particularly those outside the tourist and entertainment economy, there is an invisible line between two types of women. This is not spoken about directly, because speaking about it directly would violate Rakna, the Thai instinct to preserve face and avoid social friction. But every Thai woman knows where that line is, and she knows which side of it she is on, and she protects that location fiercely. The line is roughly this: women who are casual, available, and unattached, and women who are serious, bonded, and chosen. In the shorthand that Thai women use privately, this often maps loosely onto the distinction between women in the bar or entertainment scene and women who are not. The Western man needs to understand that for many Thai women outside that scene, intimacy with a condom carries an association with that other category, not logically, symbolically. This is not about sex work. It is not that direct. It is that in her lived world, the women who routinely have protected casual sex with men they barely know are the women who exist in a certain environment. She does not live in that environment. She does not want to perform the mechanics of that environment with a man she has genuine feelings for. A man visiting Bangkok for the first time sometimes encounters this and is baffled. He has come from a culture where condom use is simply responsible adulthood, with no social coding attached to it. He does not understand that the same physical object carries entirely different meaning inside different cultural contexts. What communicates care in Chicago communicates hesitation in Kongkayan. Do not argue this with her. You will not win, and more importantly, winning would miss the point. Understand it. Then decide how you want to handle it from a place of actual knowledge rather than confusion. The practical direction. If you are exclusive, say it explicitly, not assumed, said. The conversation changes what the object means. The third reason lives in her relationship with her own body and how desire is supposed to be expressed. In Thai culture, again, outside the entertainment zones that tourists often use as their only reference point, female desire is not supposed to be loud. It is not supposed to be planned. Wanting is something that happens to you, that overtakes you, not something you prepare for. The cultural ideal of feminine intimacy has always carried this quality of spontaneity. You did not plan this, it simply happened. Which means, importantly, that you were not the kind of woman who kept certain things in her purse, or who expected this, or who approached the evening with logistics already organized. A condom is logistics. It is preparation. Preparation implies expectation. Expectation implies a woman who decided in advance that this was going to happen. For a woman who is protecting her identity as serious and chosen rather than casual and available, this pre-planning creates a quiet internal conflict. This sounds like a double standard, and it is. Most gender dynamics in every culture contain double standards. Pointing that out does not dissolve the reality. She is navigating the culture she was formed inside of, and so, frankly, are you. You have met her for dinner at a nice place on Sukhumvit. Third time seeing each other. She has dressed carefully. She looks beautiful. You both know, somewhere under the conversation, that the evening is heading somewhere. She has thought about it. She will not admit that she has thought about it. The admission, even privately, conflicts with the version of herself she needs to maintain. So the condom, which is the physical proof that someone planned for this, disrupts the frame she needs. Stop treating her relationship with spontaneity as naivety. It is identity maintenance. It is important to her. The fourth reason is about trust, and specifically what she is offering when she says yes without one. For a Thai woman who has developed real feelings, removing that barrier is an act of communication. She is saying, I trust you completely. I have chosen you. You are not a risk I am protecting myself from. In her framework, allowing full intimacy without protection is the equivalent of saying out loud what she cannot say in words, that she is all the way in. The Western man often misreads this as naivety about risk. She is not naive about risk. Women who have lived in Bangkok, who have grown up watching what happens to women who trust the wrong men, are not naive. They are often devastatingly clear-eyed about risk. What she is doing is making a deliberate statement about what category she has placed you in. This is Bun Kun operating in reverse. Bun Kun is the Thai concept of sacred debt. The idea that when someone gives you something true and deep, you carry an obligation. She is offering something. The offering creates an obligation. She knows this. She is counting on it. She is, in fact, using intimacy the way it has been used across most of human history outside Western modernity, as a form of binding. A man who understands this is receiving information. She is telling you she is serious. A man who does not understand it takes what is offered, and then 3 months later when she is tracking his location and asking why he did not call, he thinks she is clingy. She is not clingy. She invested. You just did not know she was investing. Here is what you need to do with this information. Be honest before intimacy happens about what this is. Not after. Not as a disclaimer. An honest conversation before. Because once she has made that offering, the obligation is already in place in her mind whether you agreed to it or not. The line, she is not being reckless. She is being deliberate about who she decides to trust completely. Those are not the same thing. The fifth reason is health literacy. And I want to handle this one carefully because it is real and it matters. Outside Bangkok, and even within parts of Bangkok that the tourist infrastructure does not serve, sexual health education is genuinely limited. Not non-existent, but patchy. Often filtered through conservative cultural and religious frameworks that have historically avoided explicit discussion of contraception and STI prevention. A woman who grew up in a smaller province, or who received most of her education through conservative channels, may have an incomplete picture of risk that is not ignorance so much as a gap in what she was ever taught. This is not unique to Thailand. It is true in large portions of rural America, in Catholic communities across Latin America, in rural communities across Southeast Asia. The difference is that Western men often arrive in Thailand with a robust health education background and assume they are dealing with a shared framework. They are not always. What this means practically. A conversation about protection that would take 30 seconds between two people with the same health literacy background may require patience, gentleness, and real explanation with a woman who was never given the full picture. She may not know certain things that you assumed everyone knows. She may also be too krengjai, too careful of your feelings, too reluctant to seem uninformed, to tell you she does not fully understand. She has heard something about condoms from her friends. Maybe one friend said they cause irritation. Maybe another said they reduce sensation so much that it is not worth it. Maybe the women she knows who use them are associated in her mind with women she does not want to resemble. None of this is reliable health information, but it is what she has. Meet her where she is. Not with a lecture, with conversation. Ask what she knows. Be patient with what you find. This is not a character flaw you are correcting. It is a gap you are filling, and how you fill it will tell her everything about who you are. Tell me honestly, how many of these have you already encountered without knowing what you were looking at? Leave it in the comments. I read all of them. The sixth reason is physical sensation, and she is not wrong about this. Thai women are, by and large, direct about physical experience in private, even when they are indirect about emotional experience in public. If something reduces pleasure for her, she will find a way to communicate it, even if not in words. The reasons here are not cultural mythology. Many women, everywhere, find that certain barrier methods reduce sensation, particularly the cheaper or lower quality options. In Thailand, where the pharmacy shelves in tourist areas are stocked with whatever sells, quality varies enormously. She is not making this up. She is not using it as an excuse. Some of what she says about sensation is accurate, and dismissing it or explaining it away is one of the faster ways to make her feel unheard. There is a practical reality here. Premium options exist. Thinner materials, different designs, better quality control. If sensation is genuinely part of her concern, and you can usually tell the difference between this reason and one of the earlier, more emotionally loaded ones, this is a solvable problem. What is not productive is treating her physical feedback as manipulation to overcome. Listen to what she is actually saying. A woman who trusts you enough to tell you something, reduces her pleasure, is giving you useful information and doing it vulnerably. Respond to the vulnerability before you respond to the logistics. Do not argue about whether her experience is real. It is real. Figure out together what addresses it. The seventh reason is about what she has seen. Thai women talk to each other. Not always explicitly. The krengjai impulse means even female friendships can be coded and indirect, but they talk. And the collective experience she has absorbed from the women around her includes stories of Western men who were careful, clinical, and ultimately never there. Men who treated the whole experience like a transaction with safety protocols. Men who were present with their bodies and absent with everything else. She has watched friends lose years to men who behaved like visitors inside serious relationships. She has seen what happens when a foreign man treats a Thai woman like a beautiful, uncomplicated holiday from his real life. She may not have language for this pattern. She may not be able to articulate why she associates clinical distance with the particular kind of man she does not want to become. But the association is there, built from observation. In her mind, and again, this is rarely conscious, protection can sometimes read as the behavior of a man who is keeping clean boundaries around something he does not fully intend to enter. The man who is genuinely here, who has chosen her, who is building something, that man acts differently. Or so she has decided. This is not fair to you, necessarily. You may be a man who is genuinely all the way in and who also values your health. Both things can be true. The problem is that she is reading you through a lens that was shaped by watching other men, and you are being assessed against those other men's behavior. This is where communication matters more than any other solution. Tell her who you are, not as a speech, as a pattern of behavior over time. Men who disappear do not have long conversations about what they are building. Men who are keeping clean distance do not ask about her mother, her siblings, her 5-year plan. Show her who you are in every interaction, and eventually the lens recalibrates. Your actions over weeks rewrite the story she has about men who look like you. The 8th reason is religion and spiritual belief, and this one is underestimated. Thailand is a profoundly Buddhist country. The Buddhism practiced in Thai daily life is not the Western meditation retreat version. It is embedded in daily behavior, in karmic accounting, in the belief that what you do with your body has consequences that extend beyond the physical. It is also, in many Thai families, combined with animist beliefs, with spirit houses, with a pervasive sense that the spirit world is attentive and that how you live matters in ways that ripple. For some Thai women, barrier methods carry a dim but persistent spiritual unease. This is not doctrine. The Buddha did not address condoms specifically, but it manifests as a general discomfort with interfering in natural processes, with what feels like a distancing from something that is supposed to be whole. This is particularly present in women with stronger ties to provincial Buddhist practice rather than urban, modern Thai culture. You will not hear this stated plainly. It will come as a vague, "I do not like it," or "it does not feel right," with no further explanation she can offer, because she does not have theological language for it. She just has a feeling that something about it sits wrong, and feelings informed by spiritual formation are not easily explained in conversation with someone who does not share the framework. This is not a reason to override her instincts. It is a reason to understand that "I do not like it" from a Thai woman can have roots you have never thought to look for. Respect the feeling even when you cannot follow the reasoning. Trying to argue someone out of a spiritually formed instinct does not work and will only produce resentment. The 9th reason is the one that ties every other reason together, and it is the most important one. She has been told, by her culture, by her family, by every story she absorbed growing up about what happens to women who love foreign men, that she is likely to be left. Not maybe, likely. The cultural inheritance she carries includes real knowledge of what frequently happens. The man visits. Something real happens between them. He goes home. She waits. He explains that his life is complicated. He stops answering like he used to. Eventually, there is silence, or a slow fade, or an honest conversation that arrives 6 months too late. She knows this story. She probably knows women who lived it. And somewhere under her warmth and her laughter and her genuine feeling for you is a woman who is bracing for the version of you that might leave. The condom, in her deepest, most unspoken processing of the situation, is a symbol of that potential leaving. It is you holding yourself back, keeping the door open, not committing fully to what is happening in that room, in that moment, in this particular life she is trying to build with you. This is not logical. She knows, somewhere, that protection is practical and not philosophical. But humans are not primarily logical about intimacy. She is responding to what the act means, not just what the act is. And what it means to her is, he is not certain. He has not decided. I might still be left. The direction here is uncomfortable but true. If you are not certain, do not let her invest as if you are. And if you are certain, if you have decided, if you are building something real, then tell her. In words, clearly. Not implied. The conversation about what this is, what you are building together, that conversation is the only thing that actually addresses the 9th reason. Everything else is working around the edges. She is asking for clarity. She is asking in the only language she has available to her in that moment. She does not know how to say, "Please tell me you are staying." So instead her body and her preferences say it for her, and you are left confused unless you know what you are hearing. Here is what all 9 reasons have in common when you hold them together. She is not resisting a product. She is resisting uncertainty. Every one of these reasons, the identity question, the communication the act sends, the spiritual unease, the physical feedback, the association she has built from watching other women. Every single one of them traces back to a woman who does not know where she stands with you, or who is protecting herself against the possibility of not knowing. The Western man, arriving from a culture that has worked hard to separate physical intimacy from emotional obligation, often genuinely cannot hear what she is saying. He has been taught by culture, by experience, by years of navigating modern dating, that physical and emotional are two separate tracks. She has been taught the opposite. There is no villain in this. There is just a collision between two different sets of inherited beliefs about what the body communicates. The men who navigate this well are not the men who found the right argument or the right brand. They are the men who stopped treating her resistance as an obstacle and started treating it as information. Because it is. Every uncomfortable conversation she will not start is still a communication. Every preference she cannot explain is still telling you something. Your job, if you want this to work, is to learn how to hear what she cannot say. Here is the truth you will carry out of this video. She is not confused about what she wants. She wants to know that you are there. Every resistance, every unexplained preference, every quiet recalibration the morning after, all of it is one question wearing different clothes. The question is, are you staying? The men who understand this become men she will choose completely, without reservation, because they are the only men she has ever met who could hear the question. And the men who do not understand it will keep wondering why things fell apart, and they will go back to the forums looking for tactics, and they will find plenty, and none of them will work, because tactics are the wrong answer to a question about belonging. Be someone who stays. Show her that before she asks for it. Show her in the way you remember things she told you, in the way you are still there on a Tuesday for no reason, in the conversation about the future that you bring up, not her, in the small things that do not look like love to anyone else, but that she recognizes immediately because she has been waiting for them her whole life. That is the only answer to the 9th reason. And once she has that answer, everything else finds its own resolution. Creating these videos takes real time alongside my full-time work. So if you are getting value from this, please support the channel by subscribing. It tells the algorithm to show this to more men who need it. See you in the next video.